Day 2 video here. I'm at the OBSERVATOry here, just right there behind me. I'm in Davagh Forest too. We're going to do a little tour where there's going to be ghost stories, and then we're going to see the lights or the stars, but I doubt it at the moment because of the clouds, but keep posted. Take us out. And we got some stuff up here too. Yeah, part of it. It's quite nice there, isn't it? Sitting here by the window here, chairs. I have to just wait here for more to come out and we're going to get picked down there. Now wait for Sam's here even, go here, and we'll get stuck on the walk again. It's good. But there's pretty cool looking. See there, we got the lights there, and some atomic colours and trees over there. It's good. So this is the majority here. Hop around to find the queen. So this is the star alignments here for the what's inside here. So you kind of measure if it's 7 years until it's 49, so use your hands. 5 degrees, 28 degrees, 5 degrees here. Got the saw up here and the fans. And then over there is just the big TV with its own circles here and all things. Over here there's some big lights there as well. Then you have the light here. As goes Halloween, the wee bats here, decorations. See? And you have wee badges here. See? Yeah, that's weird. There's also a thing here. Tells you where you see the stars and certain things here. And there's upstairs section as well. So these are elements of the you can actually for yourself, different sections. Apprentice, more from Qualitas, Theophiles, Tycho. Yeah, well, right here you get the daylight and dark. And you have the northern lights here. As I say, I can move here, TV. See? This value you fit up here as well. That's how it is. If you're Camp Square and a cabin. Here's it maybe light here. So you behind me. So at the forest here. As you can see. Over there, it's got some perfect view over here. Test right here. So that there's my ordinary light. See, it dims a wee bit. Now the colour we're using is red tonight, so it's not as sore in the eyes, and you'll be able to see what's around you, so it won't disturb the wildlife. So we're using red tonight. I have blanks as well. I use green as well. You look like a traffic warden, or it could be like a futuristic traffic warden here. Green for go, red for stop. That could be the amber sign going off. Get ready. It's bad day. Beautiful out here, so it is. So we walk about here and see what the crack is. It's just the entrance back here. There's also a little river over here. See? Switch off for now. That looks nice. See over here, there's some nice colours here, over here. We're basically just mowing about until tour starts up. That's about it, really. Anyway, that's about it. So next time you'll see me about doing the tour. That's about it. Back in here now, just that's the seating area of the observatory part up here, so walk straight on there. So I'm very pleased this here we had. Like the ours was £21, but yeah, paid VAT, which was like $26.99. We also have a nice little decoration here. So that's about it. I think I have a stone circles. Aerial view of it. Get dark here. Now I just want to switch this gear on. 2 seconds. See through the forest there. Just so you get the light here, shoot better. There's your mum here. Say hello, mum. Feel best you're in the video. You're excited, aren't you? Not a bad thing. I sort of look like a robot, man. This is the forest here, and look at the storm. The storm maybe did this here, some Ewan. Oh, it's here damage to the trees. That's quite bad in some areas too. Here, you see this.
Restricted
see in
access to so many pathways.
What do you say, man?
Restricted the access to some of the wee pathways up around here.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Remember, it was the same last time, but storm Ewan.
Yeah, that more damage now. The trees that were already down.
True. Look, this is a horror film, so it does.
Jesus, the middle.
Ooh, it's really scary. So it's quite desolate over here. There's no trees over here. Quite beautiful. Just walk up here, just there's no deer in this area, so it's a bit unfortunate. Looks very like Iceland, so it does. Yeah. Hey, mommy, we have the camera. So, tell us your wee discovery there. Go ahead. The camera's all yours. What would you see stuck out of the ground?
Scared.
You just feel cheeky, just.
Yeah.
It's out of really dark now. You see us here. There's the banshee right beside me. Always crying. So, let's see. I'll show you what the landscape looks like. That's what's camera. So it's just one landscape here to eat. So let's see if it's what's. It's quite dark at the moment, so you can't really see me. So this is probably the best I can do here. So we're just heading up here now to the stone circles, and it's quite a long walk actually. I didn't realize how long it was. But I haven't got much to report really. Looks scary.
Oh, I played it myself.
You played yourself huge, did you? It's so spooky. Brilliant.
Oh, okay.
So we've got the red torches out because it's getting quite dark.
What you playing?
We're at the stone circles now. We out there now. So we're just in the field now where the stone circles are. Egypt. I can't really see because of the darkness, but it's our camera we got up here, sure. Right. Let's at the front, Eddie.
I'll talk to you a wee bit. If we could get the lights to just point down, thank you. So the stones here, Neil will talk to you a little bit about, but I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the dark a little bit. So we're going into the darker half of the year. A lot of people get quite bummed out at this, but we are trying to encourage people to go out in the dark and do some night walking, which is what these are about. So your kind of process of what we came over there now, where we're walking in the dark, it's gradually got darker and darker and darker. That's your natural process. So for thousands or millions of years, that's how your brain has perceived the day. So you had a long period of time in the morning where it got brighter, and in the evening where it got darker. And so we now have artificial light. We've had it for maybe about 140-ish kind of years now. And we really think of it as like industrial light. It was invented to keep you working longer. And so you have lost like the natural night. And so you would have spent a lot more time in the dark. And this is kind of where the whole puka comes from as well. Anyone know what the puka are? I'm standing in a stone circle mentioning the puka. I've just realised this is really bad luck. So the puka are essentially kind of fairies or mythical creatures that were kind of associated with the dark and the night. So the puka, if you think of them as like little mischievous fairies. And so this all came from the fact that if you were living in any part of the British Isles and Ireland 200 years ago and before that, you would have been spent from a long, hot, hard summer, and as soon as it started to get dark, you're not out working the land anymore. You have to try and survive the winter. And so what happens is you're out at night. A lot of things will play tricks with your eyes when it gets dark. And also you've lost your association with the land. You're out working the land since the spring. And then once it turns to winter, the land turns against you. And so anything left out after harvest was seen to have been tainted by the fairy people and the puka, and it was bad luck. And what happened most often is that people, when it gets darker, they're walking across landscape like this in the dark by themselves at night. So does anyone think they'd just do that and get home and be fine? No. You're bound to see or hear something that would spook you, and then that's where all of these kind of mystical stories come from. And especially with the bog have little things called sprites. And so it was actually, we now know the scientific thing is methane getting leaked from the bog. But essentially you would have little lights in the bog, and these used to trick people. A lot of people would follow them when they were lost and then go further into the bog and then get stuck or die. And so all of this came with really negative, spooky kind of undertones. And so it essentially was bad kind of things happening to you at night when you're out in the dark. So it's all just designed to get you back into the house by the fire, and that's your ideal kind of setting for the evening. And so it was everybody kind of trying to spook each other about the dark. And that's where the whole Halloween thing came from. In order to keep away the mystical fairy folk, you'd make a really scary face in some of your summer harvest leftover turnips, and that was put outside your house to try and scare away any fairy folk from coming in and messing with you. And so this is where the whole Halloween thing of spooky masks and stories comes from, to try and scare away the fairy folk. So there's lots of stories, mainly to do with half people, half animal. A lot of it was confusion between like the other world and people. And then one of the aspects, especially with bogs, is just how in between they are. So bog isn't really land or water, it's sort of in between, and they were seen as kind of passing places where you could get to the other world quicker. And so they have a lot of mysterious kind of history around them anyway. And so if you're walking between the towns, you want to avoid the bogs, and that's kind of where that whole history has come from. We like to encourage people to go out and walk in the dark. Lots of activity happens in the dark. We have owls up here. You get pine marten and red squirrels and lots of little animals that are about at night, especially slugs. You'll see lots of slugs tonight. And so all of this is active at night. About 70% of all of our animals that we have in the UK and Ireland are most active at night or at dawn and dusk. So when it gets dark, when you go inside, and you miss out on all of that. And so we're trying to encourage people to try and engage with the dark. And so if you spend about 20 minutes in the dark, ideally an hour, but at least 20 minutes, on a night like this, so it's nice and calm and dry, spend 20 minutes outside in the dark, and your brain will have the same effect on your nervous system as having a bath. And so that's what your brain craves. Your brain wants to be out in the dark, let your eyes have a rest, let all the rest of your senses kind of pick up. When you're walking in the dark, your balance improves, your other senses kind of get a go at things. You'll smell better, not you, but you'll be able to smell better. And there's lots of plants and little fungi and stuff that release scents at night, and so you don't smell those during the daytime. So it's definitely worth trying to do to see if it helps. It should help you sleep better, and it should help kind of take the sting out of the longer nights as well. So I'm going to pass over to Neil, and after Neil's finished, I have a little spooky story about my experience here. If we do want to do that, I can tell you about that as well. So Neil's going to talk to you a little bit here about the stones.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We made it here safely. Some by car, but most of us walking that boardwalk was very, very pleasant. The first time I've actually done that walk. But I have been here in daylight, and it is a fascinating place. This is Baymore or Beckmore stones. The moor of the birches, the word Baymore means. And the stones here were uncovered between 1945 and 1949, when the peat that had covered them for centuries had been removed, and then the stones were uncovered. And then in 1965, I believe they developed a bit further, and this more of the site was exposed. But there's a belief that there's even more yet to be exposed, although I don't think there's any plans to do so. So the stone circles that we see here, and obviously you can't see too many of them here at night, but have a wander around before we head back. They're dated about, and the format they're in, they're dated back to about 1600 BC. There's 7 circles, 3 pairs of 2, and then a 7th circle, and so on. And then there's a number of lined stones, and there's a bit of a characteristic about them. There's some short lines of stones, of taller stones, and then parallel with them some longer lines of smaller stones. Not sure what all the purposes of that are for, but obviously there's been some ancient presence here. They say they have, by carbon dating, found arrowheads and different things that would put it way back to about between 2900 and 2600 BC, the Neolithic period, when there must have been a civilization of some sort present here. And there's a bit of speculation about whether stone circles were they a response to meteorites landing or something more complex than that. And there is some evidence that there's alignment here with the winter solstice, but there's even more evidence that it's more aligned with the lunar cycles, the cycles of the moon. So that's, some people are looking further and further into that. But the location of it here, with its altitude and this area, it's one of the darkest spots in our province here. And as Hannah alluded to, it obviously can give rise to people speculating about what might have been done here, and where there's some rituals carried out in the past. And I did read up on the 7th circle that's out in so on, and among all the circles there's some cairns where there's remains within, but that 7th circle, apparently some remains of children had been found, but very dated very far back. And some people have visited this site, have experienced either hearing the voices of children, or, as I read on one occasion, somebody feeling the touch of a child's hand. But as Hannah alluded to, a lot of that arises out of just our feeling of being somewhat exposed and vulnerable when we're in the dark like this. But as I've often heard Hannah say, generations ago, the darkness wasn't a scary place to be. People were very at ease in the darkness. And I don't know about you, but I feel very at ease here tonight. I'm in a stone circle. I'm not speaking about puka that Hannah was speaking about, so I said it's enough. But thanks for listening. That's all I have on that. But
Thank you, Neil.
There were more things that Hannah, I'm sure, can answer if there's any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone want to hear my little spooky story?
I do.
It's not that spooky, it was just something odd that happened.
Okay.
This is also the first time that I've stepped into a stone circle. I'm a little bit, do you know when you're walking through a graveyard, it feels a bit like walking on somebody's grave, so I generally don't there. But just over on the far side there, so the stone circle at the back that Neil had mentioned, that's full of stones, that has generally kind of a weird vibe about it. I use little pinhole cameras, and so it's a little can and you stick it somewhere and it takes a really long exposure image of like over a year. And so I'd one set up on the fence over there, and I came up to get it. This is like 2 or 3 years ago in the winter time. This is all covered in snow, and it was bad snow, so I was up at work. You could barely get into work, and then while I was here I thought I might as well come here because I wouldn't come up regularly in the snow to do that. So I came up to lift my can. So it was just all fully white snow, nobody on the road, nobody about, no tracks in the snow. Went over and got the can, forgot the wee thing to take it down, so I had like a safety pin and I jabbed away to get it down. And then accidentally, you know when your hands are cold, and I'd stabbed my thumb and so my thumb was bleeding. And you know how like snow is cold and it's like clean, it's sort of like washing your thumb. So just like I saw my thumb bleeding and I was coming down off the hedge, and I went to like put it in the snow to clean it. And then I kind of thought, wait, what are you doing? And just when I like caught myself thinking I'm putting like blood on the ground at like a Neolithic site, maybe don't do that. I just felt a wee hand on the back of my head, like a wee pat. You know when you're little and your dad pats you on your head? like that. So it wasn't scary or menacing, but I've not had anyone touch me before here, and there was nobody here. There was only me, and so I think I might have like a blood pact with Beckmore accidentally. But it was a really strange thing. We also do walks over to the Davagh stone. So the Davagh stone site is in the forest, and it's from the same exact date as Beckmore. It's the same complex, but it's been unexcavated and it's in the forest. So some of you might have been there before. We do walks there, so if you haven't been, I do recommend it. I've had a couple of weird things happen there as well, where I've heard voices, or felt somebody walk past me, and I'm not really into spooky stuff, so it's not like I'm kind of wanting it to happen. It's quite a strange thing. So the weird thing with sites like this is just the stone is physically here and has been here for 5, sometimes 6,000 years, and I think that age and kind of permanence freaks people out a lot in terms of how many people have been here before you, and especially just if you think of modern times and how much things change, this hasn't changed, and I think that's why people get so moved by them as well. I haven't seen anything strange here yet. I'm waiting for that on the dark walks that I'll see somebody about, but I don't really see anybody about. The filled in stone circle at the back as well is where a lot of people that are visiting have had strange experiences. It's particularly supposedly bad luck for men to walk in that one. And we did have a group of women that were up here a couple of years ago, and one of them had a dog with them, and the dog barked at that stone circle for some reason. So we do think of them as probably ceremonies from ancient times. So if you think of maybe a stone circle as belonging to a family, an extended family, and this is where they did all their births, deaths, marriages, a lot of all of that kind of energy would be trapped here as well. One of the nice things with the lunar alignment, if you're familiar with Stonehenge, there's Stonehenge, and then preceding that was Woodhenge. And so a lot of these sites now they think had earlier wooden structures, and then at the same time built stone structures. So if you think of like some of these stones, this site is most similar to Dartmoor, which is very odd. It's not similar to other sites in Ireland, and the closest replication you can get of this kind of setup is Dartmoor, which is not close. And so this would have been possibly the first of its kind in Ireland. It's one of the oldest. If you think of the stone, a lot of the stones that you get, sites like this, are kind of wonky or strange looking, and one of the theories is that the stones are meant to resemble people, especially at night with shadows and moonlight. And if you think of, we obviously now know the moon is made of basically rock. The stones would resemble the moon, and the moon is nighttime, so associated with death. And so your places like Woodhenge are made from trees which were alive, and so those were ceremonies for the living. And then the stone sites were possibly ceremonies for the dead, and that's where the association with the moon would have come from. We don't know though, because nobody wrote any of this stuff down, and so it's all kind of interpreting it, how different they are and what they would have been used for differently as well. Does anyone have any questions there?
So we're going in the deeper the stone circles here. Which one's the bad luck for men? I was saying them. Right. So this was a children's game, was it?
I think that was over there. Making sure no stand inside the circle.
That's alright there. Sounds like burning, doesn't it? Or like a peat or something like that.
Yeah, must be farms. It's just like bogland near here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think one of the largest ones is supposed to be where the kids live.
Right. I heard a story that this is actually protecting like one of the astrological events in the sky.
That's
I
right.
don't know what the full details are, but I've heard that this is like mapping the stars and stuff.
Was that many different things about it?
I don't know, because they're not here to tell us, are they?
Thank God.
Probably pop up here. This is the actual fact of it.
Is it the one bad for the men?
Bah, Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. You think you're doing the mystery?
Hold on, you have to watch.
Very good.
I hope you're not recording.
I am. It's a bit crackling because it's fun. You probably look back and say, oh God, I'd say that just for a bit crack.
Oh,
It's better than a boring video, like. Now, if they ain't bar stuff, I really would take it out. Like, no, that's alright.
Could you put some maybe in like a sensible thing?
So, see. There's walking in the centre of these stones, so we disturb the stone circles. So me mum's walk up here now.
Up there, and then there was a pathway up behind.
There's my mum there. See, can't find you. Where are you? Sorry. Couldn't find you there. Unfortunately, the sky is very cloudy, so you can't see the stars.
Have you seen the wee ones? There. A couple of ones up there.
Aye, there, aye. Does those tell you? That's clash.
There's a few. That's a wee map there if everything will.
Oh, good for you.
So yeah, there.
Oh, good for you. So where's the path in then?
That should be right there, dear, does it?
So we're heading back now, see? Let's put this on my face here. So we're heading back now, and it was brilliant here. It was nice, short and sweet too. It wasn't too much information, which was easy to digest, and then the ghost stories are pretty cool. I love stuff like that, so we're heading back now. Apparently there's like an area back there, it's bad luck for men. So hope they haven't trespassed upon it.
It's full of women.
It's full of women. A wee joke. We're heading back there. I can give you hot water, Ice.
Sorry, it was a bit woman.
That's right.
The Banshee!
Signs Banshee green. Thanks.
I hope you don't see any bears here.
Hi.
I'll mind the stones across or right there. Right there.
You heard? Yeah. We're just heading back now, and there's absolutely brilliant. That's where I can check it out here. Present by my mum. So we got to hear some stories about the stone circles themselves, the historical facts about them. We got some information about them as well, and the stars at night. And we've got some ghost stories, which is the best thing about this. You know, I love ghost stories, so we do. And we're heading back now. I'm probably going to get a chip of some variety, and absolutely brilliant. If you're looking to come here to get, it's probably the skies are clear, but if it's clear, this is the best spot to come on Halloween. Enjoy.
Back up someday and then we'll see this here. What's this?
It's all tenor. So walk on. Aye, it was close. Pivot and the bun.
Absolutely raging.
Absolutely raging. Absolute muppet.
Look at that.
Ah, it's beautiful now.
I would highly recommend us here then. I would tell everybody about this now.
High class.
Such a pit. We charge people ourselves out on the way.
Do you know the wee? I won't walk off me. That'd be good. Can you shine the light in the cows there? 2 seconds. Hold it. Right, normal. Cow up there. I think shit torch basically said we're in Davagh Forest now. See? But I just really say if we're lucky or unlucky enough we'll probably see a deer. See how it goes. Looks like a Christmas tree. Look, all green, red. Man, these are like Christmas lights. I've got the green, they've got the red. Merry Christmas. What's the best way to spread Christmas cheer? That's recorded, man. This is the part we have to be careful on. It's not heading back to the cart. I think it's closed up now, left hand side. It's pretty dark in there. There's the dog behind me. Ooh. Well, thanks for watching today's video. I'll see you in the next one.
I think it might be those toilets she was talking about.
Walking over here to the giant. So we went behind me, just going to park over here and get a photograph of the giant head on. This is the giant.